All right, welcome back, everyone. We're doing something a little different today.
Yeah.
A deep dive.
A deep dive.
Into an interview, actually.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah, with this guy, Ducky Bhai.
Ducky Bhai.
Yeah. So we're not going to give you too much background on him just yet.
Okay.
Part of the fun of the deep dive, right? But he had some really interesting things to say about online content creation.
Yeah. It's a whole world out there.
It is. It is. And
especially to hear it from
his perspective.
Yeah, from someone on the inside.
Yeah, exactly. Get their take.
Yeah, because it's easy to forget, we see the content, but we don't always think about who's making it.
Yeah, the person behind it.
Yeah, and the pressures that they're under,
Yes, sir.
And that's something that he really...
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, he really hit on, like, the pressure to constantly be creating new content, just churning it out.
Oh, yeah. Always got to be on.
He actually, he used the analogy of, like...
a hamster. Like a hamster on a wheel.
Oh, wow.
Just running and running.
But going nowhere.
But getting nowhere. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. And, always trying to stay ahead of the curve. Like, what's the new trend?
Right. And the algorithm, too.
Oh, yeah. The algorithm. That's a whole other beast.
Definitely.
But, yeah, so he was saying how, sometimes he feels like he's got to choose between, like, staying true to himself and the kind of content he wants to make versus
what the people want.
Yeah, what's going to get the views, what's going to go
viral.
Yeah, go viral, exactly.
I could see that.
And he even gave this example. I thought this was really interesting about a video he made that
what happened?
It like blew up. It went super viral.
Wow.
But it wasn't like the kind of content he was proud of,
Oh, he wasn't happy with it.
He kind of felt like he'd sold out a little bit.
Interesting.
Yeah. And he said it took him a while to kind of get back to
his roots.
Yeah, to making the content that he really wanted to make.
Content he felt good about.
Yeah, exactly. Content he felt good about.
Yeah, I think a lot of creators deal with that.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's that whole you were talking about parasocial relationships.
Oh, right.
With the audience.
That's a whole other can of worms.
Yeah, and I wonder, like, from Ducky Bhai's perspective, what did he say about...
Yeah, he talked about this feeling of, like, there being a wall.
A wall?
Yeah, like an invisible wall.
Between him and the audience.
Yeah, between him and his audience. Like, they see him as this,
like this persona.
This larger-than-life character.
Right.
But he's also just, a dude living his life.
A regular person.
Yeah.
Behind the screen.
Yeah, and so there's that disconnect.
Yeah.
And that can be, he said it can be really isolating.
I bet.
And it also kind of makes you think about, like, the responsibility. Yeah, that comes with having this platform,
Right, because so many people are
watching.
Yeah, are watching, listening to what you have to say.
Yeah, and he brought up this point, which I hadn't really considered before.
What's that?
About how online content can have a real impact.
On the real world.
Yeah, like in the real world.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and he told this story about how he made a video about...
what was it about?
Like access to clean water.
Okay.
In his community.
Local community.
Yeah, his local community.
Yeah.
And it actually ended up sparking this fundraising campaign.
Really?
Yeah, and they raised like thousands of dollars.
Wow. So it can be a force for good.
Yeah, it was really cool.
That's amazing.
But then he also pointed out, there's the flip side.
Right, it's not all sunshine and roses.
Yeah, because the same platforms that can spread these positive messages can also...
Spread misinformation.
Yeah, spread misinformation, harmful content, all that.
It's a double-edged sword.
It really is, yeah.
It is.
So, I guess, like, what does this all mean for us, right? We've talked about the pressures, the relationships, the potential for good and bad.
Right. It's a lot to unpack.
It is.
But I think Ducky Bhai's perspective is so valuable.
Totally.
Because it gives us a peek behind the curtain.
Yeah, like into this world that we interact with every day. But
don't always understand.
Yeah.
And I think it makes you realize the importance of being, like, a mindful consumer of content,
Oh, yeah, totally. Like thinking critically about what you're seeing.
Yeah, not just taking everything at face value.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially online, right?
Especially online, yeah. So, I mean, as you're going about your day, scrolling through your feeds.
Right, just remember.
Remember Ducky Bhai? Remember what we talked about?
Think about who's making the content.
Yeah, and why, and how it might be influencing you.
Yeah, because it does, whether we realize it or not.
It really does.
Yeah.
Well, on that note...
Thanks
for joining us for this deep dive.
This was a good one.
Yeah, I think so too. And we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.